Hey, thank you for stopping in. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. Glad to see you. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. All is well. So, my Thanksgiving was nice. Spent it with family. Went by too quickly. But I am hyped up for Christmas and those holidays. But to be honest, it's gotten cold here and I don't like cold weather, so I am ready for springtime to get here in a hurry. But anyway, so I'm going to pick up where we left off with It's a Part of Life. And we had left off where Alan had called that girl Lynn that he had met on the date. And she was seeing somebody, so he figured he would give her a call back maybe in a couple of weeks, a couple of months, just to see if old boy was still hanging around, he said. So we're going to pick up with Junie and Paula. So Paula's time had come. We had a baby boy, a cute little thing with big round brown eyes. We were struggling to make it financially. I preferred Paula to stay home to take care of the baby. Neither of us wanted someone else raising our kids, and we'd just be getting the end of the day with our children, or be unhappy because of somebody else teaching them everything. Well, we'd gotten everything we needed for the baby, and with the help of family and friends, our little boy had more than enough of everything. We had turned the biggest closet in our apartment into his little nursery area. The baby was about 10 months old when my parents asked Paula and I if we wanted to go and live in the house that I had grown up in. My folks had moved, but still had 2 other houses they rented out. So we jumped at the thought of this. We knew everybody in the entire community, and to be honest, we lived in a nice neighborhood in this apartment complex, but Paula wasted no time when it came to packing our stuff up to move. The house had 3 bedrooms. The yard was large with a fence all around it. This would be great for our dogs too. Now we wouldn't have to walk them as often, just let them out into the yard. It also had a 3-bedroom workhouse in the backyard for my lawn equipment and tools. I had learned this trade from working as a little boy with my grandfather and 2 of my other little cousins. My Uncle C also had owned a lawn business, but now he had a taxi service going and was opening a restaurant. I was actually less than a year old when my grandpa started taking me with him to cut grass. It had taken us about 7 weeks to move into this house and get settled in. I'm going to tell you, between working days, going to school part-time, cutting lawns, and spending time with the family, some days I was so tired it took all I had to make it. Thinking about how long it would be until I finished school was something I couldn't think about or concentrate on, because that would be enough to make me give up on school. So I just took it one day at a time and prayed for strength, and we kept pressing on. So Marie. Once I arrived in front of Frankie's sister's door, I was almost tingling with nerves. I wanted to take a sip here. I was almost tingling with nerves. I wanted to confront the woman I had grown up with, sister, about what I heard some people saying about her having him tied up some kind of way. But what could I say? Come on now. First of all, it's something people don't really talk about. And when they do talk about it, they're saying it doesn't exist. Anyway, she saw me pull up and park in front of her door. She opened the door and stepped out smiling. She was motioning with her hand while telling me to come on in. I was getting out the car and closing my car door as I smiled and headed towards the steps to the house. Lydia held the door open as I entered, steadily running her mouth about the usual things. how are you doing, what you been up to, and giving me the rundown on some of her business. The both of us went to her living room and had a seat. I stood up and walked over to the photos she had hanging on the wall. I hadn't seen those before, they were new. My back was to Frankie as he entered the room from down the hallway. He seemed happy to see me. I say seemed because it's pretty easy to put a smile on a face. It would be the hug and kiss that would tell the story. The hug and kiss seemed almost 100% genuine. Maybe it was 95% genuine. Well then, what was the other 5%? I intended to know the answer to this question before the day was over. He offered to drive, so I held up my hand to give him my keys, but he said he'd drive his car. Your car, I said, with a question in my voice. He was like, yeah, I drove here, didn't tell you. I'll be here for a minute. I'll be here for 3 weeks. How you like that? I was glad and smiling all big in response to him telling me that news. Then he gave me another hug and a real kiss. Well, all right, I thought. That's more like it. We called to Lydia, we'd see you later, and we headed for the garage where his Grand Prix was parked. We just rode for a while, checking out everything and everybody. I had to ask him, what was up with you? He was like, what are you talking about? I said, you know, not hearing from you often, and why are you staying at your sister's place when you could be staying at my place? Shit like that. Frankie answered back, I was so busy and mentally preoccupied, I just didn't pick up the phone, baby. As for me staying at my sister's, that's just force of habit. I'm used to staying there, I guess because that's where I always stayed before, when I was in town. No thing, I'll be at your place most of the time anyway, right? I said, yes, I hope you're at my place most of the time. When I bring your stuff to my place, though. He replied, I can see my whole family if I stay at Lydia's. They always stop by, My response was, they can stop by wherever you are staying. If you and I are engaged, the next step is marriage, so I'm sure they kind of expect to visit you at my place. I could see he was going to defend his position with staying at his sister's. While I was thinking this to myself, he added, some nights I'll go out with the boys and, I'll be coming in late and I don't want to be disrespectful to you and your daughter also. Good answer, I thought. Good answer. Yeah, I'm not putting restrictions on you. You come and go as you please. I just enjoy having you around and knowing we'd share the same bed when you do return. No problem, though. Stay at your sister's. So we're going to call that one a short story for tonight. And we'll pick up again. And I'm going to post 2 stories this week, so that one was short. But I do thank you for stopping in. I truly appreciate it. I hope you share this story with your friends and family or in your groups. And hopefully you'll subscribe, click like, drop me a comment. All is appreciated and I will reply. And again, thank you. Happy holidays. This is Not What You Spoke.